All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to break down blockchain, a technology that sounds super complex but is actually built on one simple, really powerful idea. So let's kick things off with this powerful idea. Just picture it, a shared digital notebook that anyone can see, but that no one can secretly change. There's no boss in charge, no central server, no single owner. In that notebook? Yeah, that's basically what a blockchain is. So to really get why blockchain is such a potential game changer, we first have to look at the system that you and I use for pretty much everything important, every single day. Okay, so think about it. Right now, anytime you send money or even just some data, it has to pass through a central middleman, a bank, a big tech company. They're the ones who store the records. They control who can make edits, and ultimately, they have the power to freeze, block, or change things whenever they want. And this is where blockchain throws a huge question into the mix. It offers a totally different approach, basically asking, what if we could replace our trust in these big institutions with trust in pure, verifiable math and code? All right, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. What is a blockchain really? Let's forget the hype for a second and just look at how it actually works. Well, at its core, it's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It's a chain made of digital blocks. Each block is just a container for information, and they're all linked together one after another in a specific, unbreakable order. Now, if you were to peek inside every single one of these blocks, you'd find three main things: a list of transactions, a timestamp saying when the block was made, and, this is the important part, the unique fingerprint of the block that came right before it. That fingerprint is called a hash, and you can think of it as the super strong cryptographic glue that holds the whole chain together. It's a one-of-a-kind digital signature, and it makes sure every block is permanently and verifiably tied to the last one. And here's where it gets really, really cool. If you try to go back and change just one tiny piece of data in an old block, its hash completely changes. Since the next block in the chain is looking for the original hash, the link just shatters. The entire chain from that point forward becomes invalid. Okay, but you might be thinking, what's to stop someone from just changing a block and then recalculating all the hashes after it to make a new fake chain? And this is where the real genius of the system comes into play. The blockchain isn't just stored on one computer. No, it's copied and spread out across a huge network of thousands of computers all over the globe. Because everyone on the network has their own copy of the notebook, if one bad actor tries to slip in a fraudulent page, the rest of the network just looks at their own records, compares it, and basically says, nah, bro, that's not the record we have. It gets rejected instantly. I mean, the sheer amount of computing power you would need to pull this off, to hack and control more than half of this global network all at the same time, it's just so massive that it's basically science fiction. Okay, to really nail this down, let's use a simple analogy that you probably use every day. Just think of a blockchain like a shared Google Doc. Everyone with a link can see the exact same file. Every single change, every edit is logged in the version history for all to see. And you can't just go back and secretly delete or change something in the past without leaving a trace. And that, right there, is the perfect way to think about its power. It's that same transparent, unchangeable, shared record, but instead of just holding text for a project, it's holding things that really matter: financial transactions, legal contracts, and verifiable data. Okay, so we've covered the what and the how. But why does any of this matter to you? What does this technology actually do in the real world? Well, this whole idea, this ability to have a secure shared record without needing a boss in the middle, that's what makes all those things you hear about possible. It's the engine behind cryptocurrencies, which let us send value directly to each other without a bank. It powers smart contracts that run themselves, digital ownership through NFTs, and this whole new world of decentralized apps. And really, that's the fundamental shift here. You no longer have to blindly trust that a person or a company is going to do the right thing. Instead, you can just check the public record for yourself. You don't trust them, you trust the math. So no, when you boil it all down, blockchain isn't magic. It's just a really clever mix of logic, transparency, and math, all working together to create something totally new. We've really just scratched the surface today. In our next explainer, we're going to dig into how transactions actually get confirmed and added to the chain, and why that can sometimes take just a few seconds, while other times it can take hours. Hope to see you there.